Okay, we saw you in November, picked up a win. I wonder if that was like a big win for you. I mean, I think you've been at the top of the division for so long, but there's all these like new contenders coming up, the new hot prospects, so to speak. Do you enjoy kind of putting them back down the list a little bit?
I mean, a little bit, of course. I enjoy a win, but I enjoy a payday as well. So, yeah, I mean, anyone coming up and like I'll take a fight with anyone. Everyone knows that. I'm just trying to stay active, and anytime there's an opportunity, I'll take it. I've even told the matchmakers, I'm like, if you need someone a replacement at 135, I'll do that. Obviously, flyweight's my main thing, but just so I could stay active.
Is it more difficult to get motivation against certain fighters than others? I mean, I think about how long you've been, like I said, at the top of the division. When there's people that haven't been there as long, is it difficult to get like kind of fired up for them?
Definitely not. Every fight, I'm super pumped and fired up. Sometimes if it's like a newcomer that they're hyping up, it's almost a little more motivating because I'm like, all right, chill. Like I've been here for a while. You got to go through me. Yeah, no. I always told myself if I got to the point in my career where I wasn't like super pumped or excited about a fight or even just to go to the gym and train, then that's when you have to stop. I see like fighters do that all the time. They're like, take a fight and they're like, ugh, all right, I don't feel like going. I'm like, damn, I've never felt that. Like I'm obsessed with going to the gym, whether I have a fight or not. Most fighters, when they aren't in camp, they just go to the gym a couple times. I'm there all the time. I love sparring. I love getting better. And, as long as I feel that way, then I'm going to keep fighting.
So what's the focus been like for you in the last 6 months as you from the win till now?
I just kind of been staying. I've been lucky recently. I've had a lot of good girl sparring partners, and we kind of had like a good group. So whenever like you have sparring partners, I'm always like, I'm going to spar as much as I can because this might not happen, all the time. So I've definitely been sparring a lot. I mean, I always do, but since my last fight, I probably spar like 4 days a week, even before I knew I had this fight. But I've been doing a little bit more like one-on-one training. Now my training schedule during the pandemic kind of changed. Just, I've been doing a couple days more local on Long Island. I've been working with my good friend Ryan LaFleur. And actually I've been starting to work wrestling with my husband. He's a wrestling coach. But we never really worked together just because I was already in the UFC, when we started dating. I had my own training schedule done, but the pandemic, I was like, all right, we're running out of options. You need to come and train me. And it's actually been like a blessing, like working with both of them. I get a little bit more one-on-one attention, and I think that's really stepped up my game.
Nice. Matchup with Vivian. What do you think? I mean, she's had some impressive results in the UFC so far.
Yeah, she's definitely very good. I think she's only been in the UFC like for a shorter amount of time, but all of her opponents were definitely really, really good and high-level opponents. I think that's what kind of sets her apart. She didn't really go from the bottom of the division. She kind of came in and always had really good opponents. So getting wins over those are definitely very strong. I think she's got a great athletic striking, but I think mine's just definitely better. She has great boxing, but I have better boxing, better kicks, better footwork, movement, and my jiu-jitsu is superior.
Being back in Houston, did it stir any emotions in you, like positive, negative, like just, coming back to the airport, the city and all that?
I don't really think about that stuff. This was the last time I fought in front of a crowd was here, so that's kind of cool coming back, but this time I'm definitely going to get the win.
Nice. Last thing for me, I guess, kind of what drives you right now? Because, that's the bad thing about getting to a title shot and coming up short is like you're not going to get another one right away, right? So, I mean, like, what's the driving force on a daily basis to keep you motivated and keep that passion for the fights?
Yeah, I'm super realistic in my position right now. I think I'm kind of like, almost like, all right, if you beat Katlyn, then you can get a title shot type of thing. But, as long as, I don't care, as long as, if I keep winning, then I'll get the title shot, which is obviously always the goal. But in the meantime, I understand my position, and I just gotta rack up a couple wins, and I'm ready for that. As long as it just kind of is a weird position being like number 2 and not really. It doesn't make sense right now for me to get the title shot because there are other contenders in the division. I always just fear that that's gonna keep me from being active because I can't fight anyone because I'm up number 2. I mean, if they want to give me anyone, I will, but there's only so many people I can fight, and I've fought almost every girl in the top 10 right now. So I just want to stay active, and that's the only way you get better and where you can earn your next shot.
Right here. Speaking of that, you're tied for the most wins and fights in UFC women's flyweight history. Do accolades like that mean much to you?
No, not really. I mean, they sound cool, I guess, but yeah, I don't know. That doesn't really matter to me. Just keep winning is all that I care about.
And then, what did you make of Vivian's last two performances in there?
I think her last fight was against Roxanne, and I thought she looked really strong and dominant in that fight. I mean, Roxanne's been in there, for years, and everyone knows her. So that was definitely a step up in opponent for her, and I thought she looked really dominant and really strong there.
And she's only had one stoppage win in the UFC. She's had a lot of decisions, so there's obviously a lot of tape on her, specifically inside the octagon. Do you see any big glaring weaknesses that maybe her past opponents haven't taken advantage of?
When I get an opponent, I watch the tape first, and then I kind of don't really watch it too much because then you start looking at it. I want to focus on me and not my opponent. But yeah, just from looking at it, I mean, I don't see from her first fight to her last fight. It seems like she's the same fighter. Hasn't seen any improvement. Not that she's not good, but it's just kind of the same. And definitely. Her weakness is her cardio. I think she comes out really strong. And I think that's something that other fighters haven't really been able to realize that and expose it, but I think they can't because they had similar cardio. And for me, I'm fortunate enough where cardio is definitely one of my strong suits. And, that's a huge advantage in this fight particularly.
Hi, Caitlin. Sam DiCaprio, Armenian Weekly. Last month, President Biden became the first U.S. president to use the word genocide to describe the massacres of 1915 committed against Armenians. What did that mean to you when you heard the news?
It meant a lot. I mean, any type of publicity from the media to recognize what's going on in Armenia and what has gone on is really special to me. I think it's kind of crazy what's happened there in history, and a lot of people still don't know about that. So anytime it gets attention in the media is great.
You're 2-2 in your last 4. You won your last fight. Have you done anything really different since then in preparation, I guess, to ensure that you win this one, start a win streak?
Definitely been upping my wrestling. Like I said, I've been training a lot with my husband, and just kind of implementing different things in sparring. I've kind of like dropped the ego in sparring and just tried different things that I'm not good at in sparring and get myself tired, get myself to that breaking point, try things even if it doesn't work. I think I'm just kind of like at this point in my career where I'm like, I don't care, I'm gonna try it here, because if I don't try it here, I'm not gonna try it in the fight. So I'm super competitive, and a lot of times when I sparred before, I would try to win each round, and it's like, well, I know I can win doing what I've been doing, but just opening up and being willing to try different things that I've been working on, I think that's helped me over the last 4 months become a much better fighter.
And then last thing for me, obviously there's a lot of hype going into this fight card just in general, a lot of eyes on Saturday. What would you say to someone who has never watched a UFC event before in their life that might be tuning in Saturday, just about your fight style, just something to know about you going in that they might not realize beforehand?
My style, I'm definitely going to be going as hard as I can from the beginning to the end. I'm not going to be taking it easy. I think that this fight is kind of special because I think both of us, me and Vivian, it's a big fight for both of us. If she beats me, she's on everyone's radar. And for me, it's another, I have to beat her. That's every fight's like that for me. I just have to keep beating all these people that they keep hyping up and to try to get people to notice me again, So I think both of us have a lot on the line for this fight.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, Caitlin. How big a deal is to get a title shot again before your career's over with? Do you have to get that before to feel kind of complete to get that opportunity one more time?
Yeah, I mean, the goal for me in training was always to be a UFC champion. So that's still the goal. I'm not just fighting just for fun. It's cool, but I've been doing it for a long time and many years. So I have having that greater goal of winning the title is always there. So it's definitely very important to get another shot.
Is Saturday about sending a statement to the division? Hey, I'm still here.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of all my fights, but yeah, I definitely. Like I said, I'm realistic in my position, and I think at this point where I am, just a win isn't necessarily going to be enough. It has to be either an extremely dominant win or a finish.
And like you say you're aware of your position. How frustrating is it to see you see Joanne and Lauren Murphy going to fight to probably get a shot at Valentina, and it's like, oh, I beat them. So how's that kind of feel knowing that you beat those ladies and they're in the spot that you're trying to get back to?
It's kind of funny to me. I mean, I'm trying not to be like bitter and be like, I already beat them, but like I did, and I beat them dominant. So, I know someone before had put like, oh, something, Lauren Murphy's like, oh, she's never been, she's been finished twice in the last year, so why would I fight her? I'm like, well, that makes you look bad because you lost to me. And also I've been fighting, I got finished by number one and the champion. I wasn't getting like debuters to fight. I've never fought anyone like outside of the top 10 in my whole entire career. So yeah, I mean, I definitely beat them, but if I get it, they haven't had a shot at the title, so they want to put them in there. But I'm willing to keep fighting as much as I need to, and I'll keep beating them. I'll beat them again. I would love to fight either one of them again because that's guaranteed payday. So I love that.
After seeing what Valentina did to Jessica last month, what do you think? What's y'all mentality as a competitor? Since the perception is that the gap's up here and everybody's down here.
Yeah, I mean that's just how it is. That's the reality of the division. You could see if maybe she'll do another, like a super fight with someone else in a different division or someone else come up and down. But I mean, the good thing is Valentina fights all the time. So you see her game and, you just got to try to focus on your opponent you have now, but also work on skills that would help you win the title. Because everyone knows you have to win these fights, but eventually you're going to fight Valentina. So trying to manage your current fight and also improving skills for that potential title fight.
And final question for me. So you get a dominant win on Saturday, get your hand raised. Are you going to come to Dana and be like, hey, I'm not a gatekeeper. I'm a challenger?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've been saying that the whole time, but yeah, definitely. I mean, that's kind of the statement I'm trying to make here on Saturday.
Hi, Ben from Sherdog. When Vivian was out here, she was asked to kind of give her impressions of your game, and she was generally very complimentary, talked about your reach as something she would need to deal with. But she said she felt as though sometimes your game plan was to win by decision. Is there any merit to that at all? Do you agree with it on any level?
I mean, no. I mean, I think every fighter tries to finish the fight as soon as they can. But, when a fight's easy and it's working, sometimes you're kind of like, all right, why change it? Most fights, I don't particularly get hurt. So, and usually my opponents are, I tag them up, their face is all messed up, and I usually not really touched or anything. So, it's not just the fight, it's also, I'm not going to go in there and go reckless and just be like, I'm in a war, I'm going to go like smash this person and risk getting like hurt. I want to be able to fight in another 4 weeks or, for the longevity of my life. I'm not gonna just go crazy just to be like a fan favorite, because as much as I love the fans, they don't pay my bills.
Last one for me. This will of course be your first fight since the untimely death of DMX. Got anything planned?
I just always use DMX for my walkout song, so definitely, they messaged me, they're like, are you keeping the same walkout song? I'm like, well, of course, now I definitely have to. So yeah, that'll definitely be sticking with me.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you.